Guten Tag alle zusammen, meine Damen und Herren. Wir präsentieren auf Englisch, weil wir nicht so gut Deutsch sprechen können. So we are Omar, Monzer and Gaith. Will join us a little bit late because today is our first holiday after Ramadan. And yeah, we're gonna start to talk a little bit about us. So we are Syrian refugees, and we arrived to Germany 2 years ago. And since we arrived to Germany, we were suffered because of the bureaucracy and because of the hard paperwork that we have to deal with before. So. As you can see here, there's a form that we took from the Bürgeramt, and we have to fill it out. And it was so difficult because we didn't know any words except the name and the address, because similar to English. And we asked the NGO's office to fill the form, and also we waited in a very long queue, like the Bürgeramt as well. So it doesn't make sense to go there and to get this help from the NGO office. For me personally, I went to the Bürgeramt to do this Anmeldung, the registration form, and I was shocked by a long waiting line. And after I get in, they told me that I'm staying in the wrong place, and I have to go to the other Bürgeramt because of my birthday and the bureaucracy. I don't understand at that time. And after that, we discovered that the bureaucracy and the bureaucracy is really hard system to understand, and it's really complicated, especially for us because we don't speak German, and even for German they couldn't understand sometimes what is required from this brief or what we have to do in this form. And yeah, average of 20 times or more than 25 times that we did the last year. And because the life is too short to learn German, we decided to make this idea. And after the design course that we made by Reader School of Digital Integration, we became with this idea because there is many app provide services for learning German and for finding apartments, but there's almost no app providing information or guidance how to deal with each process. So the problems previously is the language, time, and guidance, and efficiency. And we went to a hackathon organized by Radio School and Facebook. And there we discovered that it's not only the refugees' problem, it's also the migrants' problem. It's also a problem for some German people. And we made this video at the hackathon at that time to show you how the situation look like inside the office.
Tag.
I want to make a bank account.
Aha, können Sie auch Deutsch sprechen?
I want to make a bank account.
Ja, was wollen Sie jetzt? Wollen Sie sich anmelden? Wollen Sie was ummelden? Was wollen Sie denn jetzt? Ja, ausfüllen.
Okay.
Und wiederkommen. Ja.
Ja.
Ja. Tschüss.
Guten Tag.
Ja, was kann ich denn für Sie tun? Ich verstehe Sie nicht. Ja? So, und Sie kommen zurück mit Translator.
Yeah.
So, what is the solution? The solution is Bureaucrazy is an app and web-based. My colleague will tell you more about Bureaucrazy. And many people mistake the name, they didn't pronounce it very cool, even Frau Merkel.
Bureaucrazy. So yes, we met Merkel. It was really cool. So I'm going to take a little bit of the application. The application itself, we're trying to make in Bureaucrazy is to help people navigate through bureaucratic system in Germany, not just refugees, but migrants and then in the future Germans themselves. We're trying to make in Bureaucrazy is empowering and helping people to depend on themselves with Bureaucrazy application without needing any other help from other offices or NGOs. And although Bureaucrazy, we're not trying to help just the refugees and the migrants, but we're trying to help the other side of it, which is the offices, the workers at the offices, by saving money for both both workers and reviewers, by not hiring translators. We not need to do the process over and over again, and that costs, of course, time and money. And we're trying to provide guidance for the users of the application so they know where to go, when to go, and how to go there. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the user journey of our application. So the user will go inside the application. He will find it by, for example, Job Center or Facebook or Facebook Office page. Sorry. He will sign up and then he will complete his form. So we'll help him in the future to make the autocomplete easier by not putting his information over and over, but each paper he have to make. He will identify his goals by saying, of course, I'm here in Germany, I've been here for 1 year, and I need, for example, to search for work. And then we will tell him exactly which paper do we need. And then after he see the papers, we'll tell him the guidance. By guiding him 1, 2, 3, 4, you need these papers. We will help him fill these papers, and then he can, of course, by translating these papers, we'll help him fill it out, and then go to the office and continue the process. Of course, in the future, we're trying to make it even all inside the internet without helping them, making them to go this process over and over by going to the office. The app architect, it's a bit complicated. I think I'm gonna pass it a little bit, but I'm just gonna talk a little bit about it. So we're trying to make it as security of the application as possible by not making either the developers or the user themselves be able to enter other people information without using special code, special PIN, and even fingerprint in the future. So, I think.
So I participate with the Deutsche Kinder- und Jugendstiftung to see how's the problems look like in the Heim that we went to, in the marketing, in the German classes, German school. So we went there and we did a lot of interviews, and we were asking about, after 2 years, we were asking about how much the bureaucracy is hard to deal here in Germany, and their first problem was the bureaucracy system. And because of the bureaucracy, they couldn't start learning German because they have to wait for the status. And because of the bureaucracy, they didn't find job quickly because they need to fill many forms before that, and they need to learn German. So if you go deeper and deeper to the main problem why this community didn't integrate yet, because of the bureaucracy, and why these people didn't learn German yet, because of the bureaucracy, and why they don't have a work yet, also because of the same reasons. Not only the reason, but it's one of the big issue that they have. And this is the media attention that we have before. When we started our idea and started to make a solution real for the bureaucracy and to help many other refugees.
So yes, we get a lot of media attention out of the idea alone. We just went one time public, and then we, thank God, we get a lot of media attention. However, we get a lot of help, offering to help. However, the people wasn't as commitment as we would them to be, to help us to build this application and make it live. But however, we're still trying to continue ourselves. We're trying to, actually we start jobs in order to continue this application. I take design, I take a job as a designer, so I can do the design front end. And my friend Reis take a job in back end, so he can program the application. And Omar is taking a job in coordinating, so he can coordinate in order to make this application live. Yes, I think. So our advisors, of course, we're not making it that far without helping, without getting help from other people. First, read the school that we went there, we discovered the idea, and then we develop it, and then we went to Migration Hub, which is an open office that you can go there and work. And thanks to our lawyer, we are right now legal. We are GUG, non-profit company. We're trying to continue moving on and working on our application. We still need volunteers, of course. We still need people to work with us so we can make this alive. So let me talk a little bit about the application itself. So the user will go inside the application, choose the language, and then choose to sign up or not. After signing up, he will be asked to choose one of the main issues that he's trying to achieve through our application, which is, for example, I want to register in the job center. So we'll tell him, like, for example, 1, 2, 3, you have to do this paper and this paper and this paper. Click by one of them, and then he will have the ability to fill it out inside the application and get it as a PDF file. He can print it out and take it to the office, as I said previously. Of course, the user will have a profile, so he don't have to put his information over and over again. Every time he put one information, we'll save it in our application, so the next time he will have at the last version of the application, he will have, like, for example, a click on one form he wants to fill out, and all the informations will be there. I think. Yeah. The map.
And also there's a map inside the app will show all official offices in Berlin, and when people applied for a form, any kind of form, we're gonna tell the user how to go to this hall, how they can go, which document they have to take with them, and what time is perfect time they can go there. I think we just talk about everything. If you have more questions, please feel free to ask. Thanks for listening. لا لا ما.
Oh, mom. No.
Okay. So, yeah, thank you. Yes, now is the time for question and answers. Oh, it starts.
You said there would be a map for Berlin, but how about other cities in Germany also?
Yeah, so the idea will start the application in Berlin and then we'll go to other cities. We're trying to, if we did it in Berlin, of course, we will try to explore more cities. We will put our more information inside the application, so more the users will be able to use the application in other cities.
Thanks.
Welcome. Yes.
Thanks for the talk. How
you.
many users are using the app already? Do you have a number?
The application is not live yet. As I mentioned before, we still we had some backups because of some. Also, we get some help, but the people wasn't that commitment. They actually back out after they saw how much work is it. So as I said, we took jobs to actually make this live, which is a bit take longer, but we hope that the application will be alive as soon as possible, like a couple of months.
Yeah, that's very committing from you, so I think it will be working out very well.
Yeah. Thank you. Other questions?
So, do you have like a timetable because I think this is like a huge app you wanna do. Like it's a lot of a big challenge that you have there. Do you have like any timetable when you think like this is going to start, like the app is going to be out?
Yes, actually, as we started to develop Bureaucrazy, we thought like in 6 months the app will be finished.
Live.
But once we started, we discovered like we have to do many things before we put the deadline itself. So the problem is, and the main issue is collecting the information from the official offices in terms of registering at the job center or registering the Anmeldung for different cases like a single or marriage with children or not. So now we already presented Bureaucrazy in front of Frau Angela Merkel, and she was very interested in our app. And now we have contact with Bundesamt. We're gonna travel to Nuremberg, am Arsch der Welt. And there we're gonna try together to find a solution and to work together to make it as fast as we can. Yeah.
So the working with the bureaucratic system is working well. Like do you because I think that's probably the hardest part, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they probably are working for a long time on solutions how to make this whole process easier.
Yeah, it is. It's hard, but at the same time, because we are refugees and we have done this process before and we know exactly how the process go.
We're
like
getting
step by
actually,
step.
yeah, the information are getting from our own experience until now.
Yeah, and also we're gonna add the community to the app. So if there's any others doing the same process, they can communicate and they can, do the process together, and also they can ask and get the feedback how did this form, and if they have missing any form they can scan it, but it will come in future.
Yeah. I think it's a great project you have there, because I think also the part where just to understand which are the next steps in the application process and all that stuff is something that really eases one's mind, isn't it?
Yeah, gonna give you a
question.
small example. Like if you want to register at the job center, for example, you have to do 7 previous steps before that.
Yeah,
So first,
from
you are
actually
not
7
allowed to
different
go to the
offices.
job center directly. You have to make your Anmeldung. You have to take your passport, your
Versicherung.
Aufenthaltstitel and Rentenversicherung Nummer, Steuernummer, and so weiter. So after that, you can go to the job center with the form. You fill it in your native language, Arabic, for example, and the form transformed to English, to German automatically. And yeah, this is how we are trying to save the time and to save the money, not hiring a translator.
Yeah.
You said the data would be saved on the data would be saved, so you don't have to fill every paper. Where will it be saved? Would it be on the phone or would it be on the cloud? And
Yeah.
how would the security of it be?
The idea we're trying to make is to use 3 different servers. One is the mobile application itself, server, and then other server, and then other server. So one of the servers will have the data inside, the other will have the authentication that will make all the informations are not visible for either the user or the developers themselves, unless they have the key from the third server. So it's a bit complicated architect. We're trying to study right now, but I think we have a good architect that will make the application as security as possible, or as have to be, because it contain a lot of sensitive information.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Good job.
Good throw. Any more questions from the audience to the both of you? So I loved already the design you showed. So that was a nice one. When you gonna think, like, what are the forms that you're now concentrating on, like job applications, and what else are the ones like that are right now in your the next steps? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So right now we're trying to concentrate on the job center process, because this is the most complicated part that we, as a personal cases, we went through. And then in the future, of course, by covering job center, we will cover, for example, Bürgeramt, you will cover the health insurance, bank accounts, and so on and so on. All the job center processes are have a connection with other offices, so we will try to get this one covered, and then we will continue by covering the house paper, for example, studying Weber's University, and so on and so on.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Also, we're gonna link the Bureaucrazy app with other apps provide job for refugees, for example, and for migrants, and also we're gonna link the app with an information or guidance how people can find Arabic doctor, for example, or and so on. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really great project you have there. It's a lot of work, a lot of challenges, and I wish you just the best on that, because it's
Thank you so much.
just awesome to have it. So big thanks to Omar and Munza.
Yeah.
And yeah, some clapping would be appropriate.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.